Just want to do a quick video on introducing Kngdm Athletics. I'm Martin, and I run this with a couple of brothers from our local church. And I just want to lay out the vision of what we have for Kngdm Athletics. I hope it's not a long video, and with our subscriber count being low anyways, I just want to get this first video out to kind of set the way as we grow and develop and try to further our reach. I just want to lay out the vision and then hopefully revisit this, build off of this, make shorter videos off of this. And I just want to start off by saying I don't think that I want to portray ourselves as though all travel ball or anything that's not directly Christian, so to speak, is inherently evil or wrong or out the gate, not quality. We know that there's quality out there. We know that there's excellent programs out there. What we're just seeing is in our meeting context and what we've experienced, how we would like to address the situation. Also specifically for our niche in this world, thinking about homeschool students and athletes, thinking about churches that don't want to, or sorry, Christians that don't want to miss church on Sundays, but yet still have quality coaching and games and things of that nature. This is our way of doing that. Also, trying to see a problem that we see in broad athletic youth culture is the pay-to-play program, which is, I think, hindering U.S. athletics and performance because it ends up being a pay-to-play culture. And then obviously when there's money involved, when there's sponsors involved, private equity involved, it just gets even more muddy in the waters. So all that to say, this is our method of trying to address the issue rather than just complain about it. We want to create something that will be what we think is a net positive to the youth athletic world, specifically for our neck of the woods here in Southern California, but even beyond that. So I think there's things that are happening now that are good. There's high level competition out there. There's quality coaching out there. There's athletic development out there. There's quality facilities and there's exposure opportunities. I think those are things that are happening that are solid and good. While I also think that there's things that are happening in the athletic youth world that are bad. One of those, as I mentioned, is it's expensive. It's travel heavy. It's a huge burden on the family. It's individuals over team. It's boasting over humble, respectful, honor-based athletics. It's this desire to chase status or going viral, or this one-upmanship, this lack of sportsmanship. We really have turned youth sports into something that should be developing character, developing the individual, developing the athlete, to kind of showboating, chasing clout, chasing views, and it's really kind of to our own embarrassment as humanity. We have poor sportsmanship. Character becomes second. Star athletes can get whatever they want. The parents are no better. I mean, some of the videos you see online, you just think, man, this is very, very bad. And so what we see on the contrary, in a way that the Christian church is trying to step in, is they have in some sense, have a standard. They have family involvement, community. They emphasize on character, on, the winning isn't everything. They have positive values, but then where the Christian leagues go wrong is they are still sometimes expensive, but even if they're not, right, the standards are lower. There's coaching that isn't as excellent. There's not as much player and skill and fundamental development. The competition is weaker. The preparation is mediocre because it's emphasizing the person so much that it forgets the athlete. And on the conversely, what we saw in the high competition travel ball side, it's all winning, all skills, and all just win at all costs mentality that the person and the character and the culture is lacking. So what we think is the solution to this is to embrace both excellence in athletic performance, excellence in coaching, excellence in training, that is strength and conditioning, tendon strengthening, all the plyometrics, all that goes into both that side of the athlete preparation and the actual fundamental preparation, whether it's basketball, soccer, or the various sports that we'll seek to address, while rejecting the toxic element of excellence. So we want to refuse both errors. We want to reject toxic excellence and the comfort mediocrity that we often see in charity leagues or Christian leagues. So really what we believe is excellence matters, character matters, development matters, culture matters, winning absolutely matters, trying hard matters, but having integrity and honor, respect, matter just as much. So all of them matter all the same the entire time. You don't need to give up one for the other. So the athlete should be both an honorable athlete and a skilled athlete, should be competitive and respectful, should be disciplined yet encouraging, should be confident yet humble. We reject that the athlete has to choose between either being excellent or being a good guy, being, a quality player, or being Mr. Nice Guy, right? We don't think that these are dichotomies that we are found on one or either side. And we also want to develop this because we know that sports go beyond the field. We know that sports, develop the character of the individual. And so if you start babying athletes now, if you start making the entire world around the athlete, then you're gonna give that student athlete a vision of the world that's not accurate. So all that to say, without getting into exhaustive details, we want to make sports not the goal but the tool that we can use to form amazing citizens, amazing godly individuals, amazing quality men and women that can have discipline, show leadership, be respectful, outdo another and showing honor, can win a game without having to pump their chest and rub it in the other team's face, and all while still being quality players, developing excellently in the fundamentals of whatever sport they find themselves, have control over the emotions, be courageous, and kind of transfer sport life to real life in the character development they're in. And all this, obviously, whether you're at the Christian side or the non-Christian side, it's all a financial problem, right? You often find you have to pay more to get more excellent, but that doesn't really assure you that you get the type of culture and worldview that you want for your athlete. Or if you pay less, you kind of receive less, even if you might get the culture you want. And it just kind of just tends to be this teeter-totter between excellence and expenses with no culture, or if you have the culture, maybe the expenses go down, but the quality of coaching goes down. It's like you have to choose. And I think that's where we're wanting to come in as Kngdm Athletic, to be able to offer excellent coaching, not have to require any payment on behalf of the parents or the athlete, and also do in a high competitive environment where we still want to develop amazing athletes. So our vision is, rather than trying to make this like let's make the trainers or the coaches as much money as possible, what we want to do is, in essence, to be supporter based, to reach out to Christian communities, to reach out to Christian donors that see this as a ministry first, to men and women, to forge character, godly character, develop a culture, and to kind of offer an alternative to what's currently being offered in youth sports. We're thinking about supporters, Patreons, $3 to $10 a month, not to buy training, not to buy content, but to invest in the next generation of athletes. But we know that they'll remain athletes; they'll be transferred over into the real world. So this $3 to $10 support per month, will help us be able to function. To get basketballs, soccer balls, to get equipment, to Lord willing get a location to do all this at little or no cost to the participating families. So if basically we're putting this on a website, if we wanted to showcase ourselves, it would be something like this, right? Kngdm Athletics exists to develop athletes of honor, excellence, discipline, and leadership for the glory of Christ. We reject the false choice between elite development and strong character. Too often, youth sports force families to choose between high-level coaching with poor culture or positive culture with low standards. We believe young athletes deserve both without having an extreme pay-to-play model. Through basketball, soccer, strength conditioning, mentorship, we seek to cultivate skilled competitors, honorable teammates, and future leaders. Our long-term vision is to eliminate financial barriers through community sponsorships, allowing every athlete to embrace the standard to receive quality training regardless of economic circumstances. Excellence without character is dangerous. Character without excellence is incomplete. We pursue both. So we want to do this. We need the Christian community involved. And of course, as we take on athletes, there'll be an application process, because we want to make sure we take on athletes that are willing to buy in to this model and take on not just athletes, but the families that embrace what we're trying to achieve. Envision for yourself a high Christian culture, right? A high honor-based system, a high trust-based system where you receive quality coaching, a quality atmosphere, a high energy, high expectations, honor to the utmost, respect to the utmost, show sportsmanship to the utmost, and yet without sacrificing your arm and a leg to pay for it, nor without sacrificing culture to achieve it. So we want to just address the weakest areas of what we see that's out there and address those with excellence, and the strong areas to seek to replicate that where we can. So envision for yourself that type of world, that type of community, that type of sport environment where you're not forced to choose between some things you like and some things you don't like, but rather it's a full orbed, encompassing reality of this beautiful culture meeting excellence, meeting quality training that doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. Long term, we hope that there's leagues that form from this. We hope that there's homeschool leagues that form from this. We hope that there's students that get scholarships through our program to high level colleges without having to go the traditional route. We just want to create this alternative, and it really depends upon the Christian church to see this need where there's millions and millions of youth athletes not being forged in the Christian worldview of sports. So I hope that you guys can get behind this and we can do this together.